Today on the Civic, I'm going to be addressing my hood ventilation. Originally, when I did this, I just installed the hood risers with the idea that while I'm sitting in traffic, the hot air would have to go up and out instead of reflecting off of the hot freeway. One of the next mods that I'm doing is going to restrict some of the airflow out of the bottom of the car for the engine bay. And I wanted to make sure that the hood vent was actually doing its proper job. Sorry, airplane. I recently did an aerodynamic string test just to make sure that the airflow was going like I want it to, and at speed it becomes a high pressure area right here and actually ends up shoving the air back into the engine bay. And I need to figure out a way for the engine bay to vent either out of the top or the side of the car without disrupting too much airflow. My plan of attack is to use this old messed up paint hood and try to fit this early 2000s Jeep hood louver that I picked up for 10 bucks and retrofit it on there. As you would guess, it is definitely already too big for the hood, so I'm going to be cutting it down to where it's just using those front section. Now that I have it cut down to a more manageable size, I'm going to find the center of both the hood and the vent, and then I'm going to mark it with a chisel. Which honestly, I'm just going to go right in between these two holes. And back. Pretty just. So there it is, the center, and then the center down here, which this is the bottom of it, so it's not really going to matter, but I'm going to repaint it anyway. One of the things you have to keep in mind when you're doing hood vents is where you can place it, how much usable space that you can actually use. Like here's the hood latch, so from here forward I'm not going to be able to use any kind of cooling efficiency. And so I'm going to take this off and see what it looks like underneath it. Now with that removed, I'm going to kind of plan right here. I know the middle I'm going to keep right here for support, and especially down the middle of that there's no vents anyway, So I'm probably going to start off by cutting right around these areas and see from there. So now that I have the hood upside down, I can look at the usable space that I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to want to avoid really the first third of the hood because this is where the hood latch is, so there's no airflow going right there anyway. And then if you look, there's this middle area that doesn't have any vents anyway. So that middle support right here I'm going to keep, and then I'm mainly going to cut around this area. I might get rid of these, I don't know yet. Or if I do get rid of them, I want to keep this area just so that I can have that hood prop still. Really the furthest back I want to go is right about here where that bend is. And I don't know, I guess we'll just see. Alright, so my camera died while I was recording, but I got it cut out where I wanted to cut it out, and then I took a flap disc and I cleaned up the edges. And now I just have to make a template and then cut the other side for where the vents are gonna sit. Here you can see I was playing around with a few different ideas as to fit the hood better, but the one I ended up landing on was this one. So now all I have to do is make a template for the vents and everything, and then swap that to the hood. I'm gonna make it out of cardboard, that way I don't cut this up or do any weird measurements. Here's a cardboard cutout for the vents. I have it where I need it. It is sitting a little weird on here right now, but it is exactly where it needs to be. This is from where I tried to at least get an idea of where they were going to sit, and I knew that wasn't going to be exactly right, so now I'll just have to center this and then bring it forward a little bit. But now that I have it marked out, I know which lines they are. I'm going to just cut it out. I half expected this, but this is where the radiator shroud sits, so I'm not really going to mess with that, but it'll still pull some kind of air towards the front, which is fine. Now all I have to do is take the flap disc, clean up the edges, hit the edges with some spray paint, and then mount the new vents. Okay, now that it's cut out, I'm going to be screwing it down. Rivets would be preferable, but I plan on removing this at a later date so that I can finish painting the hood and then use rivets. But for now I'm using these little self-tappers. I believe they're called button head kind. See how they're fairly flat? It'll reduce the amount of drag to the car. Go back. This is just with the air conditioner fan on, and you can see it's flowing pretty good. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.